Hopefully you've got a good rhythm for these questions now. We need to support the scholar's claim. This passage is nice and short, so let's read it, get the claim. The novelist Toni Morrison was the first Black woman to work as an editor at the publishing company Random House from 1967 to 1983. A scholar asserts, that's a claim, that one of Morrison's likely aims during her time as an editor was to strengthen the presence of Black writers on the list of Random House's published authors. So strengthen the presence of Black writers. No need to even summarize that. It's just very clear. So we need to support that claim. So is that what she's doing? The percentage of authors published by Random House who were Black rose in the early 1970s and stabilized throughout the decade. Okay, maybe because it rose in the early 1970s and she's there from 67 to 83. So maybe that's increasing the presence of Black writers. However, then it stabilized. So that sounds like maybe it stopped working. So I genuinely don't know. There's something good about this choice, but also, I don't know. It doesn't sound like amazing. Let's look at B. Black authors who were interviewed in the 1980s and 90s were highly likely to cite Toni Morrison's novels as a principal influence on their work. Well, that's great, but that's not what the claim is about. The claim is about what she did in this job as an editor, right? So yes, she was an influence on people through her writing, but that's not the same thing. So this is just unrelated to the claim. C, the novels written by Toni Morrison that were published after 1983 sold significantly more copies and received wider critical acclaim than the novels she wrote that were published before 1983. It's not about her. I mean, it is about her, but not about her novels. It's about her role as an editor and how that affected other people. So this is just unrelated. D, works that were edited by Toni Morrison during her time at Random House displayed stylistic characteristics that distinguished them from works that were not edited by Morrison. I mean, great, but who cares? Again, this is not about how it strengthens the presence of Black writers. So notice, I had some problems with A. It doesn't jump out as obviously correct, but what else am I going to do? Nothing else makes any sense. And this is why we don't want to spend too much time analyzing a choice and picking it apart. If it kind of works, keep it in and move on and see what else you've got. You may end up just picking this kind of mediocre choice because everything else is terrible. And so don't waste time analyzing something way more than you need to. We've kind of proven it correct enough in that first just glance at it. And that is enough because it passed that test. Nothing else passed the test. So it has to be right. And then we get to move on and we get to do it without needing to waste a lot of time on questions that are actually really, really easy because there's only one answer that makes any remote sense.